Yo people, welcome back to my channel. It's Musti here. So I thought I'd bring you guys a new sort of content where I bring myself into these conversations. I'm going to be reacting to different type of podcasts and all types of videos that I like. So with this one that I'm tuning into at the moment, it's one of my favorite podcasts. It's ChuckieOnline. So it's covering the Jada Pinkett versus August Alsina and Will Smith situation. So without further ado, let's get straight into it.
You're talking about America and that. Did you see the August Alsina thing? Did you watch that?
Listen, I watched it yesterday.
Serious?
In his feelings, man.
Seriously? Oh wait, firstly, obviously we got Denise from Pretty Privileged Podcast.
Hi.
Go on. Yeah. We'll talk about you in a bit so that people know you and that. But yeah, go on. Sorry, you watched it?
Yeah, honestly, because obviously everyone just saw the clip, innit?
Yeah.
But there's actually like a proper 45-minute.
Yeah, what is it, hour?
Oh, hour. It's quite long.
By the way, I didn't watch the whole 45 minutes of it. I've seen the viral clip that's gone online where August was just sat speaking to Angeli and just explaining the whole situation. But yeah, let's continue.
When I saw the clip, I was thinking, no, you didn't. Then she denied it though, so that's what made me actually.
What?
She put out her team put out something saying that it never happened.
Listen, it happened.
It happened. To me,
so
that's what made me go watch it even more.
Let me just give context for people who might not know what we're talking about, yeah? So, like, August Alsina, he's an R&B singer or whatever, yeah? There was always rumours, yeah? I don't know if you heard these rumours from before, where, like, Jada Pinkett, who's the wife of Will Smith, was doing a thing with him, yeah? But, like, even before that, there's always been these conversations of them having an open relationship. Do you get me? So then, like, no one really knew exactly what was happening. But
that's what's being referred to now as an entanglement. I mean, this video's come out a couple of days before they've done the Red Table Talk, but entanglement, just keep that word in mind.
Came out in this interview and was basically like, the way that I took it, yeah, at first, I'm not going to lie to you, I thought what he did was a bit mad.
It is.
I felt like it was a bit mad.
August Alsina.
Yeah. Like, obviously, we joke about the chatty patty thing and that, yeah, but I just felt like, I don't know, that he came out and said, Will gave me his blessing.
I know. Will, man.
What? Yeah,
Literally.
He said, Will gave me, I sat down with Will.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Not even added the Smith, just Will.
I'm looking at Will left. Like,
yeah.
Bro, I'm not going to lie, yeah? This whole thing, like my blood boils, bro. It's boiling right now. Just because Jada, and set it off, cool, I fucked with her.
Yeah.
But then I've realised over the years, you're tapped.
Definitely.
You are tapped.
Fam, that's the energies, bro. See, Dan speaking hella truth, man. Like, people are just so calm with these things, like these open relationship stuff that everyone's talking about. It's my blood will boil just hearing this bullshit, man. But I fully respect what Dan's saying, man. But go on.
You are tapped. Because how are you making... This is big Will Smith. And obviously it's not the same Will Smith that it was in Fresh Prince, because I don't think he would have had it. He was the wave in Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
But somehow she has completely spun him.
Yeah.
Turned him to Scientology or whatever is going on over there, yeah? Then we're getting this... Bro, man's sharing his wife, open relationships.
I can't look at Will the same.
I'm telling you, I'm not looking at Will the same anymore. Even by just looking at the new Red Table Talk, like, he was literally just agreeing with everything that Jada was saying. So she was like, yeah, I done this, I done that. And, you know, it was an entanglement. So just to kind of give you guys a little breakdown for those that didn't see it. After August has come out and said all of his, like, that he's been seeing Jada Pinkett and they were in a relationship, etc., she's come out and said it was an entanglement. You know what? Let's just Google entanglement, man, because I'm seeing this word everywhere. But let's get the true definition. That is definition. Let's just put definition. Definition of entanglement. Let's have a look. This makes no sense. Hold on. The action or effect of entangling or being entangled. barrier typically made of barbed wire, and extensive barrier typically made of barbed wire and stakes erected to impede enemy. Well, basically it's just a whole mix-up. That's what Jade is saying. But yeah, she's saying that it wasn't a relationship, but we'll get to that in just a second. We'll get to that.
But then again, you see, like, Will's he's gone to that place now where his head isn't where ours is.
No, what place?
Have you seen him? Have you seen him though? Have you seen him now?
Yeah, yeah.
He's in.
I was thinking
he's where Jim Carrey. He's where Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
Like, he's in a different. No, but I'm saying
he's like 5 minutes away though.
Jim Carrey, like, as in, he's gone almost tapped. Do you know when I knew Jada, I'm done with you, when she had Snoop Dogg crying on the flipping round table to him because he said the word bitch.
And what he was barling.
Do you know what? I'm yet to see that, you know. I heard so much about that video of him crying, but I need to actually see it because she's done that to Big Snoop, then Jada, man, she's got everyone on the ropes. But let's continue.
Someone a bitch.
Who Snoop was crying?
Yeah, she went in on it.
And Snoop called someone else a bitch. I think it might have been Oprah or someone he called a bitch, yeah? And she sat at the table, as in Jada Pinkett sat at the table and said, when you said that word, I felt offended.
Yeah.
I thought I felt offended. Yeah. The camera just conveniently shuffles to flipping Willow. And then he comes back to her just like,
and
I felt like you attacked me. I'm just like, he didn't call you a bitch.
No.
You lot are power trip. I don't know what's going on over there, but they've got every man that is near them, she's got them on the ropes. Well, all of them.
First of all, she's paying as well.
That's what I'm saying.
It don't matter.
Do you know what?
Her madness is gone.
I hear that.
Bring me one of the others now.
She definitely seems to have powerful pooch.
Yeah, that's how
Do you get what I'm saying? For her to be able to do that. Do you know what it is, yeah? I know that you lot are saying you're looking at Will sideways and that. I ain't really looking at him sideways. Because although I think it's mad, yeah.
Chucky, I don't know where you're going with this one, boy. Chucks, come on, bro. You're not looking at Will sideways. The Fresh Prince. Let's see how he saves this one. Let's see.
I just feel like, unfortunately, yeah, for him, and he might say fortunately, innit? I feel like he's fell in love with a woman, yeah, that is super complicated, yeah, and has spun his mind in a certain way that in his mind, he's concentrating on the thing that he feels is going to make his family happy, yeah? And I just think that from the outside looking in, we can all look at this and see this is just all a bit mad. But when you're in it, and you are being, and someone's articulating things in a certain way. Like when I sit and watch them around the red table and they're like, so I was sitting down one day and I realized that I had this epiphany and it's like, I could see.
Do you know the funny thing is, yeah, like when I've seen this clip, 2 days later, I've seen Will Smith on an interview. It was on YouTube somewhere, yeah? And he was talking exactly like the way Chuck is doing it. I was thinking but that impersonation's on point, Chucks. I gotta rate that stuff.
Because sometimes I sit there and I watch them do that and I'm like, yeah, I hear it still. Then I come out of it and I'm like, what the fuck was you talking about? So imagine living with a girl like that. Yeah. I was sitting down one day.
And let's have it right, yeah, before it makes it seem like man's all over Jada. Obviously, Will was the wave in it. Will's done it. Fuck it. He could even have driven her to this space where she's just like, fuck it, let's have an open relationship then, since Will, you're the...
So what we've later found out, yeah, after this video, obviously, this video was made before, let me just clarify, and I'm just watching this video now, yeah. It was later clarified, obviously, that it wasn't an open relationship. Jada Pinkett and Will Smith were actually separated at the time. They were married, technically, I don't know how it works, but they were married, but they're not together, so it wasn't an open relationship. She was doing her thing, and Will was doing his thing, but they were separated at the time. But yeah,
that thing, and that it could have happened, didn't it? I'm just going off what I've seen.
But Will said though in one of the round tables was that, like, this was time ago, where he said he felt like he was doing everything. I felt like I was doing everything, but like. He just said it wasn't ever enough. He said he never felt like it was ever enough.
No, but I was going to touch on that because, like, I'm not in a long-term, well, I have been in the past in a long-term relationship, but I ain't been in like, long-term marriage or anything. But when I speak to like my older friends who have been married for years, they say things like, you fall in and out of love or whatever. And some people do agree to a certain extent to have some kind of open something, yeah? But obviously they're very famous and stuff, so I don't know if I was in their position, if I would risk that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because now we're all blaming their behaviour for their kids. I started looking at their kids saying, no wonder Willow and that, like,
Well,
this, whatever.
Listen, I don't know about the whole long-term thing, because I ain't been in one year. But what I can tell you this year, I don't care how long it is, how mature it is, or whatever. Oh, there's no such thing as open. Like, what do you mean by that? Open to what? Like, what? Your woman just seeing the next man? I don't know, man. I don't know. People talk about levels of maturity, and when you get to a certain age, I don't subscribe to that, man. I don't know how people are trying to like normalize that kind of thing. Like, I've seen people online talking about it's another level of maturity when you get into where people accept these open relationships where you can go see someone and they can also see someone else, and it's kind of normalized. Society's trying to normalize that, but for me, man, I don't subscribe to that at all. I just feel like it's all mad. I feel like when you're with someone, you're with that someone. Do you get it? Like, they just can't be out and about. They're not for the streets, as Future would say. But let's continue.
You're right. Because that's like the whole thing. The thing is, I look at all the common denominators. When I looked at Fresh Prince and what Will Smith was, he seemed very normal. He was just a youth. I
don't feel there's any such thing as normal.
No, as in like, when I say normal, I mean not as tapped as what he is now.
Yeah, I hear that.
Do you think fame and money and all that does that?
100%.
Nah, I think it's the person he's with.
Yeah, but I'm saying fame and money would have...
I think it's a bit of both. Fame and money and the person you're with. Because if the person you're with is manipulative or kind of they think for you, then that person can change you, or you can mold into them, or they can mold into you. And same way, fame and money, because when you've got so much access, so much things going on, you will change as an extent as a person anyway. So I feel like it's a bit of both.
That, yeah, I mean, it brings access. Trust me, if Will ended up with Nia Long like he should have done, if Will Smith had ended up with Nia Long like he should have been.
I was watching something.
Yeah,
there was a couple, and a man couldn't satisfy his wife no more, and she had like a very big sexual appetite. So he was like, "Cool, do your thing." But she used to do all this online, not only fans, but she does some kind of online stuff. Then it got too deep, like she actually wants to have sex with them, and he allowed it.
Wait, when
but he was hurting in
what time? Yeah, no, that
he was hurting in silence.
Wait,
they're older though. They're older though. They were like in their 60s and that, but she had a big sexual situation.
Okay, and so wait, when he couldn't satisfy anymore, was it in terms of like the packaging, or was it just like he just didn't have the rounds?
The whole thing, because she was enjoying.
I gotta go. I gotta leave.
Do you know what it is?
But it happens the other way around to women as well. Some women can't satisfy their men. Yeah. They allow their men to go out there.
We're all babies in this relationship thing. In reality, like, we've not done 30 years like them lot, like he has. But I can't see at any age my ego allowing this.
Same.
Nah, I could not have.
100%. The fuck is that? Like, how do? Like, where's your mind at, man? Like, why are people with people that are not right for them and just choose to accept and run with it? They're probably burning inside. Like, who would allow that? Let's watch this, man. This world is fucked.
Nah, I couldn't.
Me giving, bro, my wife.
I wouldn't even
This
want
is my kids. This is not my thing. This is not just my girl from down the road. This is my life, innit? Like, this is my actual person. And you're coming to me to chat to me.
And my man was in love with it. Did you see how emotional he was about it? He was heartbroken.
Let's look at it from like a deeper perspective then, yeah. Not so much a surface point of view. Obviously, I couldn't do it. But
Will was mash up in that Red Table Talk video. I don't know if you lot have seen it yet, but you don't need to go watch it. Will was mash up. Like, he was trying to like pull a strong face and be like, "Yo, yeah, bad marriage, like, what, I've seen that you would ride with me." But if you can see the look on his face, he was distraught. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll get you back. And you know what? Will might have been doing his own fuckery on the side as well, but it's different with men and women, man. Like, people say it's not like it's, what's that word I'm looking for? Oh, fuck it, I'll remember it. But I feel like it's different, man. It's way worse. It's way worse when it's women. But let's carry on. Let's carry on.
That it is a thing that happens within relationships, and for some people it works, innit? Having an open relationship, yeah. But, and this is speculation. I don't know anything about their relationship yet. But why I thought this was interesting is that every time I've seen them having conversations, I'm talking about Jada and Will, yeah. I've always felt like Will seems to be going along with a lot of what is happening, and he's finding, he's articulating arguments for why he should go along with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, so he's convincing himself this is a good reason for why I'm doing what I'm doing. But then when this August thing came out now, yeah, it spoke to that more for me, because I was like, hold on a minute. The way that he's talking about this relationship, yeah, maybe he could have been adding sauce onto it, but he seemed like a youth that was mad, cut and hurt and all kinds of stuff, yeah. He needed some help and whatnot. And I just feel like when I watched it, I was like, this is a bit of a weird one here. Like, how would Will really have been receptive to this? Because it, to me, again, I don't know shit. It just seemed like they took him in because he was addicted to Percocets and all of that type of shit.
Who will?
August was.
Okay.
So they took him in.
That makes it sound.
They took him in, and then
That's what? Took him in as what?
like to help him.
They do take people in though, don't they? Look when Geordie Woods was in.
Yeah, they did the same thing.
took
With
him
her.
They took.
Do you know? It's kind of like it's like what
for a
Diddy
bit.
did with You could say it's kind of like what Diddy did with Chris Brown. When Chris Brown had the Rihanna thing, Chris Brown was living in Diddy's yard after that, and he kind of was.
Yeah, in the Red Table Talk, yeah, they did actually. Jada did state obviously that she developed a friendship with August, and she's attracted to like broken people. So obviously, when her and Will were separated, like she built a friendship with August, and then she was trying to help him kind of get healthier, get spiritually better, and all of that. And that's how it kind of spiraled into an entanglement.
You know what, coming, I'll protect you.
Yeah.
So then it was that, and then all of a sudden now, Jada starts giving up the pooch now, and then you start thinking, hold on, obviously this might not have happened, but then you start thinking, right, imagine this was the other way around.
I know.
Imagine if this was the guy had taken the girl in, yeah, because she's addicted to whatever and whatnot, and then he starts slinging some dick.
Everyone would have.
Ultimate cancellation. If it was the other way around, August would be finished, literally. But I'm not going to comment too much. Let's carry on.
She starts coming out. Then she starts coming out on a vibe of, and then she starts coming out on a vibe of raw, like, you know, this is what could happen. Social media would have just been doing its thing. But also, do you know what though? One of the reasons I felt like what August did was a bit mad is only the fact that, like, I felt he was saying what he was saying off the back of a small percentage of internet backlash, because he kept talking about like essentially him not being a home wrecker and him not being what people thought it was. And it's like, rah, did you go on your Instagram one day and see like one or two people saying, rah, like, you know, how could you go into that household and do X, Y, and Z? And now you think that is a representation of what everyone thinks, and you're already mentally fragile, and now you think no one likes you because of this. So now you feel like you need to come out and clear this. Hey, that didn't even need to be cleared.
I feel like August just kind of fucked up in so many ways, yeah, because boom, three things, yeah. Cool. First things first, when you were getting into this friendship, or you knew kind of what it was, yeah. Well, I don't know if you knew, but you kind of knew what you're walking into. Number one, you knew that she's married, yeah. So you kind of walked into, that's a red flag, number one. So you walked into that one. Number two, nobody knew this until you've come and blabbed it out to the world. And now you're pissed that there's backlash. Obviously, bro, you are a homewrecker, bro, because you knew the woman's married. Regardless if they're kind of in a separation mode or not, they are still married. They still share somewhat of a last name. Do you get me? So you fucked up there already, fam. So you can't be pissed when the internet's coming for you, because you've put your business out in the world. It's not like Jada's come out and said, yo, me and August have been doing the thing, blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of come out of nowhere. You've chose to put that out there, and then you're moving mad now. Like I went online and I seen his tweets, and he's going at, what's her face, man? Let me find her again. Keke Palmer, that's it, yeah. Them two were thing going on, boom, she's out and he's replying back, he's biting back at people, fam. You can't listen, you're the one who chose to have an interview with Angelique, whether it was for clout or not, just to say that you've been with Jada Pinkett, I don't know, but you put your business out there. So if you chose to put your business out there, you've got to deal with what people say, man, because people are always going to say something. But let's go.
Yeah, no one was talking about it, fam.
I'm just sitting here, I'm furious.
I think he done it to promote his tweet. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I hear that. That's the next mad thing.
And I still didn't listen to it after all of this that's happened.
So what, Jada's denying it?
Especially after I heard it was
Who's
27
denying
songs.
it? Jada's denying it.
She's
Yeah?
denying it, honestly, check. Her
Yeah,
team
she
was-
said it wasn't me.
Yo, Dan is mad, fam. Fuck, you know, Dan's moving like someone's trying to move to his... Bro, I hear it, because he's putting himself in that scope. If he was Will, what would he do? And he's like, obviously, anyone would move mad. But, go on, let's see what I've got.
What?
Yeah.
Then there was a picture of them looking hella happy at some awards. I was like, this picture says...
No,
so
do you
many
know what it
things.
is? Like, it's obviously happened, innit? But I'm just not happy.
Man lie on their... Look, the thing is, though, man lie on their thing, yeah? But I just can't... I don't know why it is, yeah? I just don't see him lying about
No, he looks
that.
so vulnerable. He's not lying, man. Look how emotional he was.
Yeah, proper.
Did he say he was something like, I can die knowing I gave myself to someone?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Like, he's been in love. He doesn't,
Yeah.
He's happy if he doesn't fall in love again.
And this is
Always has got the wrong idea of love, man. But each to their own, innit? Each to their own.
Yes.
Basically.
wait. Are we saying that he was chopping that down whilst he was living in the same house as Will Smith?
Well,
Please,
there was
please.
another... Wait, there was... Did you see the other clip?
Please, no,
Did you see the other clip with Jada where she said something about them? I might be in one side of the room with this.
Fam, if that comes out and Will was in the yard while all that fucker was going on, Will, you're fucked, fam. You're soft, you boy. If that's what's going on, Will, you're done out here, bro. They need to go back and delete all the Fresh Prince scenes and all that, because you fucked it up if that's what's happened. I just hope that's not the case, man.
Clown.
Yeah.
And he might be in the other
But the
side.
joke, we're all in the joke together.
Yeah,
Like that.
but we're all in it together, kind of thing. And the mum says, "Yeah," and I always thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was dying. I was like,
What?
Let me see if I can try.
please.
So they're brethrens. So
You don't know of it.
they're brethrens.
Who?
Dan can't take
Jada and Will
it.
are
He can't take it.
They're brethren.
Are they brethrens or not? Because what's going on here? This is
Nah, because you
this is
could.
not how I've been taught to behave, bro.
Nah, do you know what though? It's
So
like
confusing.
people do have open relationships still, and it works for some people. But you know what? All I will say on this though is that Jada, if anything, yeah, if she's done anything wrong, I could say there's a bunch of things. But if anything, if she did do something with him, I just feel like she didn't read the room properly. And what I mean by that is that if you've taken somebody in who was mentally vulnerable, was addicted on Percocets and all these type of things, yeah, and you have this open, successful relationship, because the reality is we ain't heard no girl come out saying that Will's beat it like while they've been together or anything like that, yeah. And to be fair to Jada, you haven't heard that about her either. So you got somebody
but with Jada, there's always been whispers.
Yeah, that's true.
There's always been speculation, yeah. And let's just say this. After all this madness, you are going to see some people maybe come out against Will as well, but we'll have to wait and see for that one. But I definitely think there's going to be more stories. It's not just going to end here.
That's true. But you've got somebody in that is mentally vulnerable, yeah?
It's quite bad.
And now, with that, you should have thought, you know what, I'm attracted to the guy, innit? And like, I'm definitely down for doing it. But you know what? He's too vulnerable. Like, he will say something. He will be the one to come out and say something.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? There's been times where I've met a girl, yeah, that like, there was one particular time, there was this girl, I'd been talking to her for time, whatnot, hadn't spoken to her for ages, ended up like on a one-away speaking again, then I went and picked her up to bring her to my yard. So I've picked her up, and then she says, one of the first things she says to me is, "Could you see anything different?" I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah. This is like my hair. My hair just messed up my hair, and I hate it, and I've been so depressed and whatever. And I'm like, right, like, you look Chris. Like, you know, it looks really nice. Like, I don't know. I never noticed anything, but it looks really nice. Anyway, so we've gone back to the yard now, whatever. And then, like, we put the movie on now, just obviously for the ambiance and whatnot. And then while we was like lying down, I felt like a teardrop on my eye, on my forearm. So I'm like, then I felt the next one, and I was like, babes, I said, are you all right? This girl started bawling, yeah. So then now, like, we're sitting on the bed, I'm like, what's wrong? And she's telling me about, like, the hair and whatnot, these things. So obviously I'm, like, calming her down and, like...
Home time. Done. That night's done, fam. I'm going home. I am going home. Blocking your number. All of that, fam. Especially the first time we meet and you're crying, fam. Bruh. Boy.
I've realised how serious this thing is for her, innit? So she's like, yeah, like, drop me home. And I'm like, I'm not going to drop you home like this. Let's just chill, whatever. So I got her to a place where she was like, now, fine, yeah? And something could have then... But after that, I was like, you know what I'm saying? This here? Yeah, nah.
You know what that's called, Chucky? Know-how, experience.
Yes.
You only get it from playing lots of football.
Yeah, straight. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bruv. You know, next minute, and then before you know it, it's allegations and all these things. So yeah, I don't know. I think Jada read the room wrong, man.
But don't you feel like, obviously this open relationship thing, it happens a lot more than people actually know, but it's the secrecy to it that keeps it going.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? No one's really meant to know.
Yeah.
Because even people that I know who are, per se, in open relationships.
But I want to ask this question. Do you not think Jada's kind of taken advantage of August? Because if you really look at it, he was unwell and he was in a vulnerable state. So I'm just posing the question. I want to know. Comment below what you think.
When the female's out here doing whatever she's doing, best believe her man can never find out. And I'm sure it's like that vice versa.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Do you know what I mean? Even though they both kind of know they're living their lives.
Kind of like, we're cheating on each other, but
can't come here like, I just beat Billy yesterday. Do you know what I mean?
I can't go to my kitchen.
I'm going to make you dinner now. I just beat Billy yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm about to go to the fridge at the same time as my man who's flipping just, absolutely.
And you're like, oh, babe, how was it yesterday? Oh, Billy was proper good.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's almost like, do your thing, don't show me. And
both never meant to, like...
That's how...
Well, what did you do last night?
It would have to be.
Well, where are you going tonight? Like, where are you going tonight? Well, you look nice, Biz.
I would have thought
I'm going to see Billy. What? Rage. But you know what, though? That's not an open relationship if it's secret.
Yeah, but they both know what they both know they're out there. It's an arrangement. You just can't talk about it with each other.
Why?
But that's not an open relationship.
Yeah,
is it?
I don't think so.
That's too secret.
Yeah.
Really, an open relationship is supposed to be like
we're
I ain't grown enough for that, man.
Yeah, neither am I.
I'm not grown enough.
Is that a grown thing? Because, well, if I even
I don't know if it's grown. I think that's just madness. In my opinion, anyway. I just think it's madness. It may work for some, but for me, it just sounds mad.
Hinted to my grandparents that this is happening, I would assume that they'll be like, what?
Do you know what I mean?
Let me ask you this then. What about, the partner introducing someone into the equation?
Okay, a threesome.
Yes.
No, I'm saying regular. Okay, like that's like my way. Like
I'm saying it's calm, like I bang it out. No. That's normal.
But
it's normal, I suppose.
Isn't that technically like it's not an open relationship?
It's not normal, but it happens.
Yeah. Okay, I see it.
So,
I see it still. Yeah, I hope the camera picked that one out still. But I hear that.
But isn't that like in the pie of the open relationship though? It's in the pie, isn't it? It's not the full open relationship, but it's like if your partner is open enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna bring another girl to the thing and you're okay with it, and this is what we're gonna do. You're openly, like, actively involved. I know that usually it starts off with rules, so it's like I don't know.
Can't lips her.
Yeah, you can't lips her. Yeah. You can't have too much fun. Yeah, exactly. She can't get longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah. Got to leave straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't speak to her. You can't know her. Can't give her the nah.
Yeah, I have to pick her.
Yeah,
like, I'm sure that you can't chat to her without me. Yeah, like, I'm sure there has to be rules.
But then all that does is it's still in the pie. It might just be that much. It might not be the whole thing, but it's still.
I personally think like I'm not capable of that either. I'm definitely not capable of that because if I did that, afterwards I'll be like, you see, everything's okay pre-nut, but after the nut, I'm just sitting there like this.
Yeah, nah. With your missus?
Yeah, with my missus.
Well, is she allowed?
If it's my missus.
Well, she bring the next don.
The next girl, next anything, I'll be like.
Yeah, nah, the next girl.
I would honestly still be looking at it being like, I can't believe it. She's outgrown me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it must cause some kind of.
It has to. So I would presume, for me, that would start a rift.
No, it would be an argument if my girl told me she wants to bring her next don in the equation.
100%.
Cutting that loose cuts straight away. That's this red flag, man. Especially if you're not ready for that. What the fuck?
Oh, that's
my ego can't handle
handle
this.
that.
No, what about next girl? Because in theory we're supposed to like that.
Yeah, no. So that's
exactly.
my bias. I'm honest with you. That's my bias. So like, I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but I would explore the conversation.
A next girl's fine. A next man is a bit of a violation.
I'm not on it.
Parties, I think.
I'm not on it either.
For a girl to say, "Oh, I want to bring a next man into the thingy," every man has your own man is gonna have mad ego issues. Like you can't do that to your man.
Yeah, but your girl can have an ego issue as well. Yeah. My girl, if
I was trying to say, only girls, you got to be mad confident within yourself, within your relationship, within your sexuality, all of that, to be allowing another female into your.
Do you think you could?
You can't just do that with anyone, or like.
Do you think you can say that to your girl though? I want to bring another girl in, or do you have to wait for her to say? Shall we bring another?
You better wait for her. I swear.
You better wait for her.
Yeah, or you know what it is.
Oh fuck!
You gotta wait. You gotta wait for something to come up on TV.
Yeah.
For that to. Yeah. So you gotta like wait.
Chuckie smart. You're smart.
For that.
Alright, babes. Alright, look at that.
Would you do that?
Would you do that?
Oh, I'd love to do that on my birthday. You know, man, them just slide it in there like some joke thing.
Yeah.
Really,
Well, you know, but there's like TV kill that comes out of nowhere. Like I'm talking, even if there's like, you see, like a scene from out there, even in Power, where it's just like there's a girl in it that my girl might know I'm on this girl. But I'll start looking at my phone. Anything just because I don't want it to seem like I proper fancy this girl.
Yeah.
But I'm on her, and I know I'm on her. But
that shit makes my heart race. That shit makes my heart race a bit still. But I don't know, man. I think the open relationship thing is interesting. And you know what? I want to throw this out there for anyone that is in a strong, long-term open relationship. If you're down for it, come here.
Yeah.
Let's
I want to know.
Let's discuss that, because I think we're just talking from a place of not being able to understand it. But there are people that have, for them, good reasons for why they feel like they could do that. And I think, remember, we did that something with Jurex recently. And they were having like a roundtable discussion. And like, there were people that had all different sexual interests that were interesting. Yeah. Like some real interesting stories getting told around this table. Like people had, like there was, yeah, I can say this because obviously I don't know, I'm not saying a person's name, but there was that one person who I think she was in a relationship with one guy, and then like, but she was sleeping with other men. What was it called actually? It was called something.
But I don't know the terms, so I feel like I'll get this all wrong.
Yeah. You've already started wrong.
Yeah,
I
feel like one of them, I just don't know.
No, the sis isn't involved in that. I think the sis is like, I know where you're going.
No.
Yeah, let's stop.
What the fuck was that?
It's cancellation.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, nah.
Well, one of them, I just don't know.
No, the sis isn't involved in that. I think the sis is like, I know where you're going.
No.
Yeah, let's stop. Before that is cancellation.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, nah, it's, you know what, it's all interesting still. But I also think, just going back to the Jada and Will thing, I think that when they go and do their red table talk thing, they don't have to do this, but if you are giving all of this advice to everyone about relationships and all these type of things or whatnot, then I think that they should talk openly more about that. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's a real thing. And if they are successfully doing it, because let's just say before this thing had come out, they might actually be doing it successfully.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It could be genuinely working for them. And if that is a part of their thing, then you know what? Like, unpack it.
I wonder what it means for your kid. As in, do you know what? I feel like it's very different having a flipping threesome or an open relationship with your girl that you've been going out with for 8 months or whatever it is. Yeah, but I feel like once kids are in this equation, I feel like
how old's Jada?
I don't know. They'll be
It's
alright.
Yeah, it's true. Because what are you gonna tell your kids? Like, that's how are you gonna explain that one to your kids? It's fine. I think if it's just a random gal, but your wife though, your wife and kids.
Jada's her son as well, right?
Yeah.
So he's 20.
Yeah.
As a 20-year-old, I don't want to hear no man come out talk about he beating my
Honestly, I'm gonna move him up.
What?
Bro,
Like,
this is what I'm
leave
saying.
me.
Man,
Guys are a couple years older than
the goalpost.
Get me his
Once we
number.
got kids, this is way more techie than it was before we had kids.
He's 21. So, and then
So
August
August
was
is-
beating his mum when he was 21.
What?
Leave me. Leave me. Oh, that's my vibe. Get me his
Are you
number.
kidding
'Cause I'm, what?
it's on site. This
When
is
he was
years
21.
ago, man.
So he's 27 now, I think.
You know, this is ugly. I don't like this.
It's not sweet.
Jaden would have been 15.
Yeah,
It's probably
but
that's why she
He's
probably
probably
has to
playing
deny
basketball
it.
with Jaden.
And I'm salty with my mum.
He's playing basketball.
so
with
That's
Jaden.
why they're denying it, because it's just so messy to
Yeah,
even
bro.
start the convo. And
I'm ignoring my mum and that. I'm ignoring my
You know
mum.
what? Each to their own. Get me whatever makes everyone happy, but that would make me sad.
Yeah, what?
That would make me sad.
I'm not gonna.
That's it. Yeah, it's
I
not gonna
would
make me happy.
ignore my mum for a little while.
I
I'll be
couldn't look at
upset.
my
I'll be in
man
my
the same.
feelings.
No, even as Will, that would make me sad.
I couldn't
Everything
look
would
at my
make me
husband
sad,
the
yeah.
same. Like, I'll start
Yeah,
saying
but
this.
Will, I don't know. Do you know what? I think the thing that if Will is okay with the open relationship thing, I don't think that the story or the situation being what it was would upset him.
I don't think he is, you know. But I'm being real. If you see his face, he does not look happy. But it's one of those, like, he's just thinking, he's just putting up with it because he's been somehow, some way sucked in. But you can tell Will's not happy, man. You can just see the look in his eyes. He just looks sad. He's just. I wouldn't be surprised if I just hear like down the line that the marriage is just no longer is void, because in that red table talk he did not look happy. He looked sad. Whilst Jada was trying to explain herself and say, I didn't feel good in ages, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna have to obviously react to that video at some point as well. But Will wasn't actually not. Let me show you, man, how Will looked, man. So I got a picture of Will. Does that look like a man that's happy? Come on. Why did she leave me? Why don't she love me, man?
Just think that he might actually just be upset at the fact that we had a private conversation
The whole world
as a
is.
man to man. You get what I'm saying? I sat down with you and you know what? And this is why I felt like it was a bit deep still, because I'm just looking at it from this perspective. It must have taken maybe a lot for Will to sit down with him and say, you know what, let's have this conversation, because you're in the house this isn't just a random guy that's coming in. If it's an open relationship and it's a random guy, maybe I might be able to just handle that. But you're someone that's in my household. Do you know what I mean? So you know what? Let's sit down and let's unpack it, have a conversation about it, and then you know what I mean. We hug, shake hands after it, and it just is what it is. So for me to have that with you, and then for you to go out conveniently while you've got an album, and then say my name like that, I'm gonna want to link you afterwards.
Hundred.
I'm way too violent for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to see. I'm gonna want to see you so we can discuss this part now. Yeah, because that's a bit mad to me. But with that being said, though, August looks like he needs a lot of help, and it seems like he's getting it, but it seems as though he's in a place where he's super fragile, and
Definitely.
he needs to hopefully he fixes that, because when he was crying and being emotional the way that he was, it didn't to me seem like someone who was just crying and being emotional for being emotional sake.
Yeah,
He seemed like he was, it was deep, like it was real deep, and he was hurt by that whole thing. It looked like he deeply fell in love with Jada, actually.
No, for real.
Do you know what I mean? So
I think he just got the wrong end of the stick, man. She was just doing it just to feel good. And he just thought that he really bagged her. But again, you gotta learn from your mistake, all this, man. Like, I'm not gonna bash you, because obviously everyone makes mistakes and shit like that. But gotta learn from it, bro. And yeah.
I don't know, Jada and that's probably better off. They were better off coming out and not saying nothing, as opposed to coming out and saying that it wasn't me or I didn't do it.
And don't you feel like, as a man, like when men get cheated on,
But you see, like, my heart just starts beating.
When men get cheated on, if you love your girl, you'd actually take her back, yeah. But it's when like your brethren find out and other people find out you're more angry, like you're double angry. Like if you lot can keep it all closed in, you lot will take your girl back. I've seen it happen. I'm 31, man. I've lived. Like I've seen bare man take back their girl.
Not like she didn't cheat. Like we wasn't. I've said this many times on the podcast. Yeah, we wasn't in a relationship, really. But we was.
Yeah. Okay.
See now, had Chucky all about that entanglement, he could have used that there right now. I was entangled with her. That's what he would have said right now. But maybe on the next post, man, we'll have to wait and see.
So I'm saying, like, for me, like, I'm looking at it like this, yeah. For me, she's the only girl in the room. We're spending so much time together now. This is where it's going.
Infatuation stage as well.
Yeah, and like, so we're in all of that. So when I've rang, like, because what happened was, I'll tell you still. So what happened was now, cut a very long story short, she told me that she used to date a DJ or whatever. And so I'm like, who? And she wouldn't tell me. And I left it because I liked her. I don't know why. I should have just, like, kept asking more. So anyway, one day I thought, you know what? I was on the Facebook and that, and I thought, I'm just going to scroll a little bit. Yeah, wait.
A little bit.
He's hurt. His head's gone.
And if I see a DJ if I don't know him, then I'm going to leave it.
Yeah.
But if I know him, I'm going to shout him.
Yeah.
So obviously, scrolling now, boom. See DJ that I trained in the gym with. Like, we train, yeah? So I rang him, we're talking and whatnot. And I'm like, yo, I need a little check. So he was like, what? And I said, oh, do you know such and such? And he was like, right, I'll never ever forget this. He goes, He goes, it's mad that you
Listen, anytime a man listen, I do that here. Anytime a man starts with right, it's a absolute disrespect that's coming. I don't care.
You mentioned her, you know. I was at her yard last night beating it still.
Oh, that's how madness.
Hear him though. Wait, hear him. But she's cool though.
Fucking hell.
She's cool though. All it was is, true, I got a girl in that.
Can you hear this?
Word for word, bar for bar. True, I got a girl in that. Couldn't wifey her in that. Yeah. And then obviously I was just in the ends, and then I hadn't seen her for ages, so I just hit her up and that, and she was in the yard. And so then obviously I just went in and whatever. But he goes, how do you know her? I said to him,
you gotta deny at all costs. Deny.
You must have looked.
I was like, oh, you know what? Nah, bruv, I don't even really know her too. Like, yo, yeah, like, you know what? Just fucking bumped into her one place or whatever. And he was like, nah, man, she's proper cool. Man. He was like, she's proper cool. Like, just, you know what? Just do your thing or whatnot.
Anyhow, Chucky said something else that's different to, oh, nah, this and that's going on. You're a big man. You know what? I'm not going to say nothing, but that's you, innit? Do what you need to do, fam. Chucky. Oh, my God. What? As soon as that, you got to run the other way, bro. Leave.
I personally don't think.
Listen,
that's heartbreaking.
And you know what? Yeah, I said all of that to say this. Like, later on down the line, I ended up trying to make it work again. Because in my head, I was thinking, you know what? For her, she probably thinking to herself, I just came up with all of these stupid things for why she did it. But then, I tried to, listen.
Men make the
but then, you know what happened? Yeah. When, like, afterwards, when we've rekindled the thing or whatever, or tried to rekindle it and that, gone to the yard, yeah, and then, like, we're just, like, chilling, whatever, and then now we're getting to the, you understand what I'm saying? So as we get into that now, and she's reacting to certain things, in my head, I'm thinking, my man did that.
Yeah.
Fam, why do people put themselves through that bullshit? Why? Why? I want to know. That's like a people say red flag, that's a roadblock, fam. That's just a massive roadblock. But what you chose to do is make reasons for yourself to stay. But you got to put up with it, man. You got to build that armor up and put up with it if that's what you want to do, man. But never me, bro. I can't do that, fam. Like, my ego, I just can't take that, man. And for me, anything this small, fam, and I'm running the other way, G. I can't play those games, man.
Was he laying on that side? Oh, it must have been.
I put my pants on.
And you can't. The demons. Yeah, the demons. Bro, I've said this for a long time. Yeah, like, I'm not big enough. Even if I say, oh, we go again, then we will try and work it out. I'm not a big enough person for it. It's broken, and this is now broken. I'm probably gonna try and beat your brethren. It's all mad, man.
I believe it gets taken.
My thing is this, yeah.
Dan's too real with it, man. Way too real with it. Fuck, you know.
Anyone, I've said this many a time.
Don't spoil. Take
Oh
it
my
out.
god! Any advice?
Yo, they need to release that part, man. They need to release that part. What did he say that was muted? Please. Chucky, if you're watching this, yeah, if you come across this video, bro, an exclusive thing, man. Just release it, bro. We need to know what he said, because whatever he said, fam, said it with chest. Big Dan, you know. Fuck, you know.
If you cheat, you know what my uncle told me when I was young? My mum's brother, when I was young.
No, bro. It is.
No.
I've got to say this one with my chest.
Stop.
I hear
Stop.
you.
Stop.
I hear him, though. Because I've been told this from young, from my mum's brother. He told me, Denise, even if you get caught cheating red-handed by your man, you just got to deny it. Because he can't get that image out of his head, yeah? All right, cool. Obviously,
do you know what red-handed looks like to me?
No, but okay, not red-handed, but he's basically saying you just got to keep denying it. Like, a man just can't get that out of his head once you admit it and he knows it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So, like, but I've been in positions with my ex and to make that clear, because obviously I'm in a new situation. I don't want this guy to get worried. Where we had a break. Well, he cheated, and then I thought, fuck it, we broke up. I started seeing somebody else.
We hate that.
He couldn't take it. He come and got me. He come and got me back. He come and begged me back, yeah. After like 6 months, I'm seeing somebody else, been traveling, whatever, person's treating me great.
Why is she putting it like that though? Beg me back. The girls make things just sound mad. Beg me back, you know. Fuck, you know. More time, maybe it did, you know, but it just sounds mad. It just sounds mad.
My ex come and took me back, basically. Like, I don't care, like, he said whatever he said, done what he done, and I went back to him, and he used to ask all these questions like, "Oh, did you not do this?" When you're on a holiday, and I used to be like, "No, nothing happened."
Yeah, because if you would have turned around and said,
"It was better for his mental state," I'm telling you.
If you would have turned around and said, "All right, you know what? Just this one time, just so that it's out in the air now, because this is what some people like to do. This, I just want to be honest." Yeah. If you would have turned around and said, "Yeah, do you know what? I'm just gonna say this once. When we went to Bifa or New York or whatever, yeah, we did it in the shower, and then
What is the shower? Is that
all of that? Like, see, you think that the man thinks that he just wants to hear this one time and he can get past it. See, when you start giving these details, he will never
exactly.
Ever.
So why are you asking me?
I feel like that's a mad one still. That's a mad one. Because the truth, if it's the way Chucky's saying is too detailed, that would drive man sideways, but you fucking going nuts. But then lying about it, you know that it's a lie, so it's kind of going to drive you back both ways. But boy, part truth would work, I would say.
Putting yourself through that, I used to be like, bruv, stop asking me these questions.
Do you know why he's asking you? Because he wants you to say it didn't happen.
But I used to stick it on him and be like, so what was you doing? And he'd be like, and then I just hate him.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is what I've been telling people all the time. The lie is better. Hey, what? Hey, what? Man, just stop.
Hey.
Is it?
You alright?
Whoa, bottom line.
Keep your seat.
Chucky, don't take it out. I said what I said.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Dan said it, bro. Release the tape, man. Release it. We want to hear what he said. Chucky, release it, bro.
I said what I said.
Oh, mate.
I'm with you on that. I'll tell you that time after. But I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Anyway, close that. Close. Alright, cool. Yeah, so flipping. Yeah, anyway, listen, like, right now is a bit of a mad time because I feel like there's like all these conversations that are being had at the moment, yeah? And like, now there's like all these conversations as well about like all these allegations and that are being made, yeah? On the internet and that. And it feels a bit weird, I can't even lie, because like, we should always, especially as guys, yeah, be educating ourselves more than anything about respecting.
I think we're gonna pause this tape here because I just wanted to react to Jada Pink and August Alsina Park because the video goes into a whole different topic that we'll react to a different day. But I reacted to this, man. I thought this is my way of I'm not there with them, but I can react to their content and kind of give my perspective. Is my way of getting myself to the seat and reacting to my favorite podcast. This is just one I'm going to be reacting to. A few of their clips in the future and also other podcasts, my other favorite podcasts I tend to watch. But always big props to Chuckie, because Chuckie, Dan, and Paul is hit and miss with me, but I'll add him into this one. But as a whole, it's a great podcast, man. Make sure you guys tune into their team, ChuckieOnline. Watch my one as well. Let's Talk podcast, where we're bringing in more guests, hopefully, building the platform. And I'll be doing a few more of these. So let me know which ones, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, what